So I'm going to talk to you about something I'm passionate about, if you want to start. I'm going to talk to you about why Nintendo should sponsor the pain management services. Before I get really started, I need to tell you that the first time I did present, I presented after that guy who did a whole presentation about what not to do in one of the Better Culture presentations, and I pretty much ticked them all off, including bullet points. So here are my bullet points, just to prove that you can have them. I'm talking to you about pain because I've got loads of disorders. They're all up here. If you've heard of any of them, bully for you, that's great. You probably know somebody who's got one. All the feels. It can sometimes make you sad. So I've got all sorts of odd things like rare arthritis and then like these random pain things, which means that my pain pathways are corrupted and my brain thinks loads of complicated stuff, and it can make you really, really sad about it. It does all these things. So pain's not really technically real, it's like a thing. So it kind of goes through you, goes to your brain, and then your brain amplifies it, and it corrupts, in me anyway, and in some other people. And so like a normal thing like this can feel really, really bad. It can feel like a blowtorch on your skin as opposed to just a normal like tactile touch or heat or all those kinds of things. And so it is all kind of just in your brain, and it's a bit weird of a concept to think about, and I've had all sorts of people in the proper services talk to me about it. These here are genuine sad face selfies from the last couple of months that I've sent to my boyfriend to say, I'm in pain today, and this is the only way I can explain it, because it's quite weird. So here, look. Oh. Now, for pain, they give you drugs. Genuinely take ketamine. This is the best picture I can give you. You're welcome. And no, you can't have any. I signed a contract with the hospital. But when you take ketamine and morphine and other such exciting drugs, which make you look really street cool, you have to take all of these ones as well. And they're all of the side effects ones to stop you from vomiting in public and to stop you from passing out and being really dizzy. And so there has to be other ways. Rum being a really good one. So there have been more than one occasion where I said, sorry doctors, I've not taken all of my prescription meds because I drank a bottle of tequila and it was cracking. And they just kind of let it slide when you see them for quite a long time. So where this has led me to is to thinking about different ways that you can manage pain that don't involve alcoholism and class A's. So one of them was done some research. It's very exciting. An entire virtual reality game called Snow World was created for people who were suffering from chronic, really bad burns. And they were like, what can we do? Because there's not many drugs that can support that. I was going to give you a picture of a burns victim, but some people eat when they're here. So there you are instead. And so they've got these games, which you're basically just throwing snowballs at snowmen, and it's nice and cold and exciting. And they were doing fMRI scans on people's brains to see how they received that. And you can see here, science. The red orangey stuff is, pain. But with the games, they were actually getting the pleasure centre was coming up, and it was a distraction. And it was dropping people from, say, an 8 or 9 on the out of 10 pain down to like a 4 or 5. Now this has led it to me, because I'm a bit of an addict of repetitive games. Started with Nintendo. I love my Game Boy. I have 2 in my house, and it's one of the most pleasurable things in the world, and it distracts me. Here's a Nintendo DS. You can see here, I get I've got all 3 stars. I've got all spent, everything. I'm really, really good at Mario. And I didn't know that it was actually helping with my pain. So I could sit there for hours and hours and hours playing games, such as the Wii, which is really good for arthritis, because it's really easy to do. You can do it at home, and it's not prohibitive if you've got mobility problems. So I actively encourage people to use Nintendo, plus they're like a Japanese powerhouse. So here, really bad maths, because maths. There's loads of money spent either on prescription and non-prescription painkillers in the UK, and I figured, hey, let's siphon some of that off and turn that into more Japanese games, so there's more things for me to play with. This many people a year, if we took 10% of that, could get a DS bundle or a Nintendo Wii to take off some of the pain that they might feel, and it means that they're drinking less. It could just be me. And just as an extra aside, this is how good I am at gardening. This is my bay tree in my front garden, and it's really quite sad and appalling, and I did nothing about it for a week after it fell over. However, on my Animal Crossing game, look how pretty it is! How much do you not want that? You know that? It fills me with love.